question we look at, if we're gonna promote kids with a D and above, then our policies need to match that. So actually, there's an address in here to change that to 60. I don't know if you guys are aware or not, but you have to do the appeal process. If someone is put up for retention, then the parent would have a right to, according to your current policy, to bring it in front of you. I'm not comfortable with that. To my knowledge, you guys know very well what's going on in the classroom. If the child is really ready to go on, and that should be left up to the educators, the teachers, the building administrators, the counselors. And so, in an appeal process, we would need to add that, change that, and what it would be basically is go back to the people in that building, such as the building principal, the counselor, 3 other teachers other than the teacher that was in charge of the child. And so what we've done is we've looked at some other policies by other school boards, and we found one in particular that I think is beneficial in that basically it starts with the classroom teacher recognizing that a child is behind. And prior to spring break, that person would send something home, a letter saying, this is what we consider, they're behind. Okay? Then at the conclusion of the year, a following letter, if this child, and at that time, we need to have that meeting with that parent saying, this is what our concerns is, how can we help, how can you help as a parent, how can we work together to make sure this child is successful at the end of the year. So we have an initial meeting with the parent. At the end of the year, basically, if the child is still not being successful, we send another letter home by the teacher saying that your child has not met the requirements necessary. My recommendation is for retention. The parent would have the, and according to this policy we're looking at here, for your approval would be, they have 10 days then to respond back to the building administrator. We disagree with the teacher's decision to retain our child. Okay? And in that letter too, they would put in their reasons why. My child is, got another sibling coming through, we've got a death in the family, any kind of reasons they feel like their child has not been successful, they can put those things in. And request one of 2 things. They can either request a proficiency-based test at that time, which would then be set up. Now, if a child comes in, and this is part of state law, if a child would come in and pass 70% or better, they would be promoted. Okay? The second one would be an appeals in front of the building principal, the counselor from that building, and 3 teachers that are not that child's teacher already. So, go ahead.
Back to 1, I understand that proficiency based.
We can add that 70, I think though, Teresa, and I have to go and check. I think the actual state law refers to the actual score that a student has to make on that, but we can put that in here to clarify that it is, because state law does require a 70% proficiency to be able to be completed. So, and this would be, my main concerns are in my elementary school where we actually have multiple subjects, but it's not the same as a middle school and high school. You're going to give a kindergartner or a first grader or a third grader, you're going to give an overall test of, when I start getting in middle school and stuff like that, I'm going to give subject tests. Okay, so proficiency-based tests can be different at 2 different levels. But yes, they would be.
And it's provided by the state?
No. Your school district determines that proficiency test. We should have, for every subject matter and every grade, a proficiency test, all 5 developed by our staff to determine that these kids know what they're supposed to do. And we're supposed to have that. Yes, we do. We also use it in today's time for if there's a homeschool child coming in and they want to get back in the grade where they're at, they would have to take that test and provide us with the proof that they're taking. So we do have currently a proficiency-based test. No problem. I think obviously we need to address those and where we're at. I couldn't tell you last time we've actually reviewed a proficiency-based testing. I think with changes of core curriculum, passages, and everything that we've actually changed, I could be lost and if they still match what we need to provide. Yes,
Mr. Thompson, you were